he was telling us that we cannot build. So I hope you're comfortable. I just made myself a cup of tea. If you want to do the same, just grab a coffee, grab a tea, get cozy, because it will be a lot of topic to cover. I hope, first of all, that all of you are doing fine. I've been chatting with you on Instagram, on TikTok. It's so nice to always get in touch with you. And I feel like it's not the easiest season, or it hasn't been the easiest months for a lot of you, which is somewhat good because I feel like all of us are kind of in the same boat. There has been so much going on. It's been super busy, ups and downs, many emotions, and I know a lot of you have been through similar things. However, I do have to say I am a super chilled person, I think, in that sense. I don't worry too much. I do worry, of course, but I'm always kind of positive. I always think we have a solution to everything. You can work on everything. Everything will work out. And I was recently a speaker at a very cool event where all different kinds of interior designers and architects meet. And I was talking about the struggles in a business. And one of the things that I was actually talking about is that failure doesn't necessarily have to mean that you fail. It's really a point of definition. So in the end, you decide what failure means to you. And when you feel like something has failed, you can define that as failure, but you could also define it as something else, as a lesson learned, or just another step to bring you closer to what you're really meant to do. So that's a really big point, and I don't think that there has been a lot of failure. I try to always focus on the positive things because there's always something that worked well, where I'm evolving, where I'm happy. So overall, I think the roller coaster over the last couple of months were definitely also emotional, but I am generally very positive, and yeah, it's been a busy few months. I'm now finally extremely excited on all of the upcoming things. There's so much cool stuff coming on. I even made myself some notes so that I don't forget anything. But I just wanted to make this video to give you a little update on what has been going on at Interior by Jeannie. So many new things, so many changes. And the reason why I didn't share that with you was A, because I was really busy. And when I get really busy, I really focus on my work. So I forget to take some videos. It's really hard for me to vlog every day, to be honest. It's super, super hard. I'm just not the type of person to always run around with my camera and to take videos and photos of everything. I really have to force myself. And I think especially when I'm hanging out with friends, or when I'm going somewhere, or even when I'm with my clients, I always want to be fully present. And that obviously makes it very difficult for me to film, because I have a lot of meetings, I have a lot of calls, I see a lot of cool people, I go to a lot of very cool stores, but then I don't want to stand there, talk to people, and have my camera and kind of like film me. I don't know. It's just really weird for me. So that's definitely one thing that's making it a bit more difficult. And the other thing is that there has been so much going on with so many uncertainties that I really just didn't know how to film that or how to give you an update on that. Because I'm generally not the type of person to just share everything. I rather want to share the things where I'm 100% sure that they will be happening. And there have been so many topics with so many changes, with so many quick changes, and so many decisions that are in the future where I'm still not sure how it's going to work out. So I really just didn't want to share that with you. I know that's how social media works. And I also know that a lot of you would have been really interested in the whole process and just taking you along the process, because I know it's a process, it's a way, it's a journey, and there are things that are happening, there are changes in direction, which is totally fine, but it's just difficult for me to share that. So that you know, I'll be giving you a few quick insights on my current situation, the big events that happened in the last couple of months, and then you might understand why I've been a bit more absent. But then I will also not be going too deep into these topics. I think especially with the house in Italy at Lake Como, I will be doing an extra video for that, just so you really get to understand all of the things. Why don't we start off with Italy? Well, the house update. It's been crazy. There has been so much happening. I'm really happy. The architect was working so much. The construction company, they have been working so much on that. We did get a cost estimate. We talked about all of the different dimensions we needed, because one big thing that we had was also to get the geological surveys for that. So we really had to know how much stone we had underneath the house, how the hill looks, how the ground looks, which is super important, especially when it comes to things such as, water, building the base of the house. So that was a roller coaster, because of course it was kind of dependent on the results that we get from those studies. And then another big thing, and a little bit of a setback, but I have to say, once again, it really is how you define it, because actually I feel like it's more positive now, because we got a phone call from our architect, and he was telling us that we cannot build. And I was really shocked. I was so shocked. And for a moment, I was like, oh my God, I bought the property, and now we will not be able to realize what we've been talking about the last couple of months. And the reason for that is there was a change of the law. And it's very typical that you have those changes. You need to renew laws. And apparently, the authorities made a little mistake, and they forgot to add a little paragraph which tells us how we are allowed to change rural buildings. It's not a big deal now, because we just actually have to wait until they renew the law and they bring back the paragraph into that. But that meant in the moment that we will be postponing the construction site, because we need to wait until the law has been renewed. That was really, really annoying, because of course they couldn't even tell us how long we have to wait, how long the situation will go. So we ended up asking the authorities for a building permit. I mean, we did get a lot of the permits in already before that. And so the final permit that we were just waiting for, that was where the law was changed, which was such a shame. If we'd been probably, a month earlier, we would have easily made it. But, it is what it is. The good thing is that we might be able to now build even more than we expected, which would be really, really cool. So I'm hoping for that. And again, just hopefully defining it in that way that I'm saying, it is a little bit delayed, but we get to build more, which would obviously be much better. And I think it's always good to have more planning time instead of just having something that has to go really quick. So I also think that's quite good. And that meant, though, that we decided to rent another apartment in Italy, very close to the house, just so we can be there, we can be at the construction site, we can meet with the architect, we can meet the construction company, and also be present when the works are done, because it does need a bit of control. I'm sorry. I said what I said. Also, to add to the new apartment, it's just a place that I don't enjoy being at very much, to be honest. I'm just a person, I love to spend time in beautiful interiors and in a good environment. It has a lot of potential, but it's not very pretty at the moment. So it's considering if I should change it, if I should really invest some money, but it's a rented apartment. It's very, very temporary. And I also feel like the owner is not really into interior design. It does have so much potential because it has a little bit of a mid-century modern touch. And it's not the type of style that I would usually pick. So I would probably never pick that for myself. But because now I have it, I actually feel a bit sad if I wouldn't use it, and if I wouldn't just make something out of that and use it for my portfolio, because I love the challenge. I also love designing something like that. It's just nothing that I would probably pick myself, if you understand what I mean. So I'm just really torn about that, and just there's so many thoughts and things going on in my head. There is big birthdays coming up, big family events and stuff like that. So that's what's been going on with the house. And I was really concerned that we wouldn't get the building permit, that there would be more setbacks. I was just really worried about that. All good. We are heading in the right direction, and we will probably be able to start to build in April, May, we'll see. That's one thing that was really big. And also, obviously, the part of moving to Italy. There has been a lot of decisions that I had to make. There were a few difficulties with the tax situation in Austria. I mean, I know a lot of people who have the same issues. It's not easy to have a business in Austria, and I've just been considering different options for myself and for my business. And especially with the house coming together in Italy, I was actually thinking about moving to Italy very, very soon. Much sooner than originally planned, because as you might know, I really wanted to stay in Vienna. I love Vienna. I wanted to keep that as my base for now and then gradually move to Italy. But probably, most likely, I will be moving to Italy in 2026 already. I'm currently in the planning stages for that. I had a lot of calls with tax advisors, with my management, with all different kinds of people, just checking my options. And I never expected it to be this hard. I just really, really feel like it's crazy to move because I've built up my company here. I have so many wonderful people in Vienna that I absolutely love. It's been such a special place, and it will always be a very special place for me. But I also feel like I just need to move forward and I need to just bring some changes in. But it's much harder than expected. I have to admit that. So I'm currently in the consideration process of that as well, which is also just mentally just a little bit of a load to me. I have to admit that. That's it with Italy for now. Then, what else has been going on? I mean, you probably saw that I've just been really busy with different projects. I am so excited. I've never had so many projects before, so many exciting projects as well. 2 weeks ago, actually, I think, or 3 weeks ago, I had an onboarding of 3 new projects, 3 big new projects. There's one really cool one in Germany that I will be able to show to you very soon. There is another project in Milano in Italy, which is so nice. I really felt that was a sign because one day after I had the phone call with the tax advisor in Italy, I got the request from that wonderful couple. And I really see that as a sign because it's the first bigger project in Milano. And I'm so excited. I was like, okay, I'm considering moving to that area. And then I suddenly get a request from there, and it's just been really nice. So that's a really cool project that has been going on, and we're starting in December probably. And then there has been, as you might have seen, a new project in Athens. I have my first ever hotel project coming up. It's a boutique hotel in Athens. I've also filmed a whole video of the building, which I'm very excited about to show you. I went to Athens last week, met with a client. I already did 8 different projects with him. Really fun project, really tight schedule. So there's a lot to do, as you can imagine. And these things really took up my time. I also have 3 other projects currently running, which, they're all in the final stages, but still there is a lot of work to do. I need to talk to the clients. I need to visit the construction companies, and they're basically in the execution phase, but still that's always very stressful. And that's why I've just been a bit more absent because I've been really working on the computer a lot. I've been drawing floor plans, taking out all of the concepts, searching for furniture, making selections of materials. So that's really the thing that's been going on behind the scenes in my projects. And of course, the hotel in Athens has been a big, big thing. I'm so excited for that. If you have any questions on that, actually, let me know because I will be doing a Q&A on that and just share with you a few updates. I've also had another really cool project in southern Germany where I was doing the window design for an event from Optik Bucher and Chanel Eyewear. That was really fun. We had an influencer event and I was doing the decorations. That's why it's also been a bit more difficult for me to do some content here because I've really just been back and forth. I've been to Munich, I've been to Tegernsee, I've been to Milano, Lake Como, Milano, Lake Como, Milano, Lake Como, back and forth. And then back to Vienna, then to Athens. So I've just been traveling around, but not complaining. I love it. I'm very, very thankful. It's positive stress, I guess. Let me check what I have on my list. Lastly, we have my book launch. Wait, let me get that. Ta-da! My very first book was launched on October 14th. And I'm so excited for that, but I didn't really get around to doing content about it and also sharing it with you guys because I haven't been here. And also when I came back, I was sick. I was sick when I came back from the event with Optik Bucher and Chanel Eyewear. And then I was sick when I came back from Athens. So I never really got the chance to introduce that properly, but that's my first ever coffee table book where I share some of my projects. You will get insights into that. And even with floor plans. I'm not sure if you can see that, but you get floor plans, you get before and after shots, you get to see all of the transformations, and that's just something really, really special. Also, a lot of unseen photos, for example, from Project La Voliere. Just a really nice book. I've loved designing it. It's been such a big part and took up basically all of my last year and springtime in this year. So it's been really one of my dreams to become an author. I actually write that in the beginning of the book, that I always wanted to become an author when I was a child. Now, I'm not an author in a way that I'm writing nonfiction stuff, but I did publish my very own project book. You can get that on Amazon. You can get that in basically any bookstore in the German-speaking countries. So if you would want one, it's really cool. If you touch it, the magnolia is actually in a 3D print, so it's kind of standing out. The design of the cover has been a massive part, and I think it goes so well everywhere. It's a neutral base, but with the color of the magnolia, it's just really unique and special. So that's been going on. I actually didn't get around to see it in stores, which is a shame, but plan that for the next weekend. And we've been sending out marketing packages to some friends, to some partner brands. So there has just been a lot of administrative work that has been happening in the back. And then, of course, I obviously also have some collaborations with brands, like my new vacuum cleaner, which I'm so excited about. It does just take time to create that content, and I've literally just been running from task to task. Then obviously the daylight is going away so quickly, it's insane. That's why the lighting is bad, but just ignore that. I will make a few other separate videos on all the topics that we talked about, especially about the house updates in Italy. I really want to sit down and properly share all of what's happening with you there, to explain the situation a bit more, to explain when that was happening, what the plans were, what the plans are now, and also just give you details on the whole process and maybe even some insights on the planning, because it's basically finished in the planning. So in my head, it already exists. That's a little life update, and you can already be very excited because I did already edit the stuff from Athens, which means that you will be able to see a full tour of the current status of the hotel in Athens very soon. So if you subscribe to my channel, there will be a video coming up on the purchasing process in Italy, how I work with different people in Italy, how I find my workers, how I get the building permits and stuff like that. I will also be doing a video on Athens. As I said, you will also get a house tour of actually the house in Italy. And then I also was thinking about doing more things with recommendations, because I do get a lot of products, I do work with a lot of products, I do work with a lot of different companies, and I was thinking if I should maybe do something that goes into the direction of interior decor items that are worth it, that are not worth it, things that I would buy again, things that I would not buy again. So maybe that kind of topic, I think that would be very fun. And I've never seen something like that before. I'm in good spirits, very, very excited for next year. I think it's going to be a very big year. Would love if you would subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.